that are dedicated.
Good afternoon, fellow Nigerians from the United States. My name is Matt Mado Ajaja. I'm so sad about what is taking place in Nigeria, especially with the fatal shooting of innocent Nigerian youths who were lawfully protesting on the streets of Lagos, Abuja, and cities across Nigeria. A Nigeria that has been in shackles of poverty, in shackles of oppressive and brutal civilian and military regimes. A people who deserve to live peacefully and to access opportunities without limits. A country that is so blessed with abundant human, natural, and mineral resources, but sadly yet one of the poorest countries with the poorest people on the surface of the earth. Why? Because a few individuals, less than 1% of our entire population, driven by a supremacist ideology to perpetually keep Nigeria and Nigerians in bondage. Their tragic failure of leadership, their dogmatic approach to leadership is what led us where we are 60 years. And then a generation sprang up exactly on the dot of year 60 to say, we have had enough. Those before us suffered in these chains. Those immediately after them suffered with these shackles. And now our generation cannot afford to deal with this anymore. And they stood up legitimately making clear demands for their promissory note from Nigeria and the dark rulers of Nigeria, who think that they have monopoly of ideas and the monopoly of the instruments of manipulation to keep a whopping 205 million Nigerians, made up of 70% of youths, actually in real value 123 million youths, vastly unemployed, underemployed, or unemployable. I don't think they did anything wrong by asking. Children make demands on their fathers. Children make demands on their parents, and their parents listen. Like parents, those at the helm of affairs at all levels in Nigeria have failed for 60 years to listen to their children, the Nigerian people. Only a few elites, those who have had inordinate access to our commonwealth and positions of authority. It is only they that have been living in opulence, while a whopping majority of us live below poverty line. Is that fair? I believe that was the question, and that's the question these youths are asking. But let me quickly say this: my sincere and deep condolence to the families of these fallen heroes and to the youths of Nigeria. I want to remind you that the journey you have embarked on is going to be long and torturous. The people we oppose have weapons of mass destruction. They have the Nigerian armed forces under their wraps. They have all the instruments. But what we have is our resolve to change the course of our history. You should be happy that it is your generation that has been called upon to do this for the people of Nigeria and by extension the people of Africa who are looking, who are watching how the events in Nigeria unfold. Because whatever happens to Nigeria happens to the rest of Africa. And whatever happens in Nigeria has immediate impact on Africa, both on short-term and long-term basis. So Nigerian youths, I tell you this, that Africa and the African people are looking up to you for leadership at this critical moment in our nation's history. We are the giants of Africa, and we must lead Africa once again. So you have a huge responsibility, a continental responsibility right on your shoulder. So let us complete this journey that you have started. Don't think about facilitating. Don't think about going back, because going back is not an option that we can afford right now. It will mean that those, your peers, our compatriots, whose lives were cut down yesterday, it will mean that they died in vain. Their blood, their dreams, and their aspirations must be those things that inspire us to finish this race without looking back. Am I going to tell you that there will be no more difficulties? No. Freedom is never given free. Freedom, the fight for freedom comes with costs. Sometimes people have to pay the ultimate price for them to become the watershed upon which a new nation will spring. May the soul of those fallen heroes rest in peace. I speak to Nigerians, especially those who are so scared, those who are still sitting on the fence. You must come down now, because whatever happens is going to impact you. This is not a time for us to say that it's not my business. We have been telling you, I know personally, I've been speaking to these issues in the past 12 years about what our conspiracy of silence has brought upon our country. This is the worst it can be. Nigeria is at the worst, at a very dangerous crescendo. We have a choice to either keep quiet and we all become slaves to a bigoted less than 1%, or we rout them and set our country free. Two hard choices. If you belong to my generation, you perhaps understand what I'm talking about. I have been a victim of quota system. I have been a victim of the federal character. I've been a victim of assault. This is my everlasting mark for being from a country where ignorance rules. I'm tired, and that was why I came forward in 2019. I'm not a politician to try to drive a race to the Senate, but unfortunately, the people did not understand me because I wasn't preaching the traditional language of the use of money to buy votes, to win supports. Today, those from my constituency, I hope they are watching me. I'm sure, I don't know what is going through their minds right now for the blunder that they made. If I were in the Senate today, I would think what we are doing today would be a lot easier, because I will be right in front of the agitations. You see, all our senators are quiet right now. All the members of House of Representatives are nowhere to be found. All the appointed ministers, all the commissioners, your state governors, you're not hearing anything from them. And you know why? Because majority of them belong to the bankrupt generation that brought our country on her knees. I'm hoping that we'll be successful with what is taking place, so we can begin to rewrite the story of Nigeria on a new page, chapter by chapter. To the youths of Nigeria who are currently at the forefront of this battle, I greet you. I salute you for your courage, for your resilience, and for your decision. Because I saw one young man yesterday, he said, they asked him, are you afraid of death? He said, no, because I'm already dead. Why will a dead man be afraid of dying. I share in that sentiment with you. Nigerians are already dead, and there is no reason anybody should be afraid of anybody, especially when we are doing what is right. History will judge this generation very kindly, this generation of youths, especially the patriotic ones who are driving the process from their hearts. But as we progress, I want to remind you about something. We call the United Nations, we call the United States, we call Britain and France to our aid. I very little bit from those who are making those calls. This is our revolution. This is our story. We must be the ones driving this revolution. We must be the ones writing our stories, because our story that we have to date was not written by us. So we must do whatever we can to keep this movement organic, because that's the only way we can own it. That's the only way we can be so proud of our accomplishment, that never again shall the sun set on so glorious a people's achievement. God bless you, and God bless Nigeria.